Okay, so we have this problem now where the customer comes in and they've forgotten their card, which isn't very helpful. They want to hire out the Wizard of Oz. So I'm using these little buttons at the bottom here for them. We will show you how to put some proper buttons onto your database. But imagine now, customer comes in and they want to hire out the Wizard of Oz, which I've done here. And the customer does not know their membership number and has forgotten their card. Not very helpful. Now, to throw a spanner into the works even further, we know that our customer is called Sophie Smith. Where's my table of customers? Should have clicked on it, it's obviously highlighted. But look, 1 Sophie Smith, 2 Sophie Smiths, and 3 Sophie Smiths. So which one was it? Well, we happen to know that her postcode was CT11AA. So in fact, obviously it's going to be record number 2 here, Sophie Smith CT11AA. But to throw a spanner in the works a little bit further, I've actually got a Dr. Morris Goff, who also lives at CT11AA. And this is pretty common. I mean, your home, basically your neighbours on either side of you probably have the same postcode as you. Normally postcodes apply to a group of houses. Could just be a couple of houses, could be actually up to about sort of 14, 15 different houses all have the same postcode. So logically it makes sort of common sense that the same postcode would appear for a video store quite often, because chances are your neighbours probably use the same video store as you. So we're going to have to do a little lookup now, a little combo box, that it's going to be populated using both the first name, the surname, and the postcode to find the customer ID. Just doing it by postcode wouldn't be enough because we've got 2 people here with the same postcode, and doing it by names wouldn't be enough because quite often it's the case that lots of people have the same name. So how are we going to do this? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my main form down, and we're going to go to our form over. Go to our forms here, and we'll go to our customer sub form, and we're going to design view of that. I'm just going to expand this a little bit so we can see a little bit more. Oh, if my mouse was behaving, that would help. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to choose a little combo box, which I'm going to put here. And this time, we've done the I will look up values in the query. Let's find a record of my form based on the value I select in my combo box. So let's press next. What details do we need in there? Well, we will need the customer ID, so we'll pop that in. I'll pop in the type, first name, and the surname. Double click, that's what I wanted anyway, and the postcode. That kind of makes sense because we're going to look up the customer's first name and surname, Sophie Smith, from their postcode, and we want to find out what their ID is to put it into the database. So we'll press next. And it says hide the key column recommended. Well, in fact, I don't really want to hide the key column this time because the whole point of this is I'm trying to find out what their customer ID is so I can actually enter it in so they can hire the Wizard of Oz. And I'm going to press next here, and I'm just going to press finish. Now, this isn't working quite yet. I mean, it will work, but I'm going to show you why it's a bit messy. Let's just save the changes there, and let's open our main form. There it comes. Imagine we're entering a new record. Customer wants to hire out Wizard of Oz. I'm not going to change that because, well, I will change it. It kind of goes wrong. The whole point is this: you wouldn't actually start putting the DVD in before you knew who the customer was. You'll see why in a second now. So here, I've got my drop-down list that lets me find the individual customers. The whole point is that if you say it's Sophie Smith CT11AA, we're lucky we can see it's record number 2 here. But if you had thousands of customers, as hopefully you would do from Video Shop, you'd have a massive, massive, massive long list. So logic says probably want it in alphabetical order on the surname and then sorted on the postcode. So let's show you how you do this. By the way, there are many other ways of doing solving the problem of finding someone in a database table, but I just think this one is the easiest one to sort of get you started. Let's go back to that customer subform and we'll come to this combo box. I'm just going to right-click on properties here, and where it's got row source, this is the bit that does all the work to find out all of our customers. And if I click anywhere in there at all, it just selects that, and you can see the 3 dots here. What I'd like to do is sort it first of all by surname, and then we'll have it by postcode. And I'm going to close that down and we'll say yes, want to save that SQL, thank you very much, and we'll close this down, and we'll close this down, yes, we want to save that. And now if we go back into form order and we don't know who, we'll go to the end record again. So if we go to the end one, you'll notice it didn't. Oh, it did start off with this. Let's have done it before. Idiot, never mind. Anyway, customer comes in. it's Sophie Smith. Aha! And it's now in alphabetical order, all in Smiths down there, and we know it's Sophie. Perhaps I really should have had it as Smith, Sophie, and then CT11AA. That probably would have made better sense to have it round that way. That's no problem. You can just go back in design view, click on those three dots again, and just move them round. Should we actually tell you what? Because we haven't shown you how to do that. Let's just quickly show you how to do it. Probably been better off in design view there if we just click there and properties. And probably the sensible thing to have done would have had to have the surnames before the first names. I'm just going to click that, drag, and move that like that. That would be more sensible. And we'll press yes. And we'll close that, press yes. Back to our form. Start a new record. Sophie Smith, we don't know the number yet, so we go, okay, surname Smith, okay, it's Sophie, and your CT11AA. So I know that's number 2. Because I know it's number 2 there, I mean I can click it if I want to, the number 2 appears there, but the whole point now is I've got to select it up here. Aha, customer number 2. Or I could just type it in fact, couldn't I? 2. And 2, if I type it in, press enter. Oh, that's because I've gone back over there. And takes the Wizard of Oz. And that's it. We can now put in the correct customer, and we've got the right DVD. And, well, not a lot more to do really. The customer can now take the DVD home because we've worked out which customer number 2, is going to take the Wizard of Oz. So hopefully that's given you an idea of how we can use a combo box to look up the value in a table. Okay? Why don't you have a go at setting your own one up now?